all well. I am just checking that everything is working and give you guys a chance to join us. Let me just check. Yeah, that all seems to be okay. So let me have a quick look and see if we are live. It looks like, why is that looking like a black screen? Interesting. Hi guys, I hope you're okay. I am feeling like for some reason you can't see me, which is a bit weird. Bear with me. Oh no, that looks okay. And I can hear myself, so that's a good sign. For some reason I had a blank screen in front of me, but that's must have been an issue my end. Nothing to do with me. Hello Sarah, how are you? That gives me the okay that we are on YouTube as well, so that's awesome. Let me just turn my noise down. So how are we all this afternoon? What day is it? It's Tuesday. I've lost all track of days and times. Let me just make sure that we are up to date with this one. There we go. That seems to be okay, I think. Obviously it's a little bit behind. Have I got a frozen screen? Hello Annalisa, how are you? I feel like my screen is frozen. Bear with. Let me just give this a little flickeroo. Do I have a frozen screen, people? Right, bear with me while we try something. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Doing a little bit of just configuring and see if we can make this work. Let's have a look at this. See if this is going to work for us. Still seems to be frozen, doesn't it? Oh dear, we do like to have these issues, don't we? So bear with me a second. Let's try a different screen. That screen is also frozen. Oh dear. Right, bear with me. Let's try something else. Give me one moment. It's always something, Annalisa. You're absolutely correct. It was all working absolutely fine until it wasn't. So let's try something else. You know, you've got to keep trying these things, haven't you? So just stay with me. The other screen was also frozen, Jane. I know it did look better, but it might have shown me moving, but not my hands. So let's try this. So the hope was that if we just had the one camera, that it would work. But unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be the case. So let's have a look. Let's try this one. Okay, that's not working. Oh dear, we are having fun, aren't we? Yeah, that one's, why is that one still frozen? It's all fun, isn't it? Right, okay. I guess the only other thing is to switch it off and switch it back on again. That sometimes works, doesn't it? One day we'll get this working, won't we? Sorry about this, guys. I was hoping that we might be able to show you something a bit more exciting than just hello. A black screen. Ah, there we go. Right, now we might be in business. Hello, hello. Yay, that works. Right, let me zoom in. So sorry about that. A little bit of a false start there. Right, I think we might be in business now. Yay. Some real talk, naughty technical gremlins. Annalisa says you could do it, you're a pro now. I don't know about that. I think it is just a case of, you know, switch it off and switch it back on again. That seems to be the only thing that works. So hello to everyone. I can see that we've got Lauren is saying good morning from California and it's afternoon from Sarah. Thank you so much for bearing with me, but I think we're here now and we're moving, so that's a good sign. I think it must have just been a bit of a connection issue with my camera, my overhead camera. And I think once it gets stuck and once it gets frozen, it just doesn't know how to unfreeze itself. And even though, you know, I removed it and added it, oh, anyway, you don't need to know all the details. Hello. Let's do some crafting. I am in the mood for some crafting. Sorry, Rosie. Rosie's asleep beside me like a little cutie pie. So I just thought I'd quickly share with you one of the cards that I made over the weekend. So those of you that were in Harrogate at the weekend may have popped into Stamperama to say hello. And this was one of the cards that I made while I was demonstrating on the day. And I actually really, really love this card. I love how it turned out. So I wanted to share that with you. I also did some ink blending and made this background, but I didn't get to finish it. So I thought I might finish it today. And the great thing about this is that I get to talk to you a little bit about the sale that we've got going on at the moment for subscribers. So you may have been here last week when I mentioned that we are offering regular treats, offers, updates for our subscribers. So if you subscribe to our newsletter and you subscribed last week, then you will have seen our Treat Yourself Tuesday offers that are available exclusively to you guys. So if you're not a subscriber, get yourself subscribed because there will be more offers coming in the future, but they are obviously limited to that short period of time, etc., etc. So yes, so I'm going to and today's offer is on dies. So if you're a subscriber, you'll have seen already, or if you haven't, go check your inbox because there'll be an email in there from me telling you all about how you can take advantage of your Treat Yourself Tuesday deal and get some amazing discounts off your Time for Tea dies. So Sarah says, thank you to both you and Ant for swapping my stamp on Sunday. Oh, Sarah Louise, it was you, was it, that with the stamp? Sorry, I know, obviously I see comments and things, but I don't always put names to faces, so I'm so sorry. Obviously, I recognise your name very well from the lives and things, but you're very, very welcome. So yeah, and it was lovely to meet you in person as well. It's so nice when we're at events that we get to see people in person, and we don't always know everybody's names because, like I say, it's really hard because when I'm on a live, all I can see is your name, or it might be your username, so it might not even be your real name that pops up. But obviously we recognise those names and we see them regularly, and it's lovely then to eventually meet you. So we were super busy at the weekend, and as a result I haven't really had an opportunity to unpack most of my stuff. I did unpack some bits, and I've got loads of things that are kind of half started and not finished. So what I thought was I would go through the process of finishing some of those things with you guys as part of this live. Now, one of the great things about going to a show and doing a show is that I do just get to play, and Ant gets, he has all the hard work to do because he has to deal with all of the queue of people that are waiting to purchase things, whereas I just get to play, and so I was doing a little bit of playing, and what I do when I prepare for a show, just to give you a bit of background, is that I will, and this has developed over time, I haven't always been this clever, but I will basically take a number of stamps, dies and stencils that I want to use while I'm there, because obviously I can't take everything. This was some ink blending that I did on the day as well, which I might use because that looks really pretty. And I take a number of die cuts that I've already pre-done. So I had cut a couple of these out already. This is the Geometric Snowflakes die, but I'd also cut out the slimline slopes because that would make a really cool card. And I don't know whether I might use this as a bit of a background for that, because I think that would look super awesome as well. And yeah, and I just bring a variety of things. I also cut this as well. That would look really nice on there. That's very pretty. So I mean, that would look lovely on the back of anything, wouldn't it, really? Let's be honest. So so I cut out a number of different things, and I also cut out this this is the postage stamp die, which again is really fun and I've not used for a while. Oh, Sarah says she's just ordered that from me today. Which one was that? Remind me which one, because I've said a few now. So yeah, so because I can't take my big die cutting machine, I like to cut myself a few bits out so that I've got something to play with. And then, like I say, I take my stamps, a few stamps. I take all as many of my markers as I can get in my bag, and I take some cardstock and a few bits and bobs, and then I just play with what I've got. And I don't really have any idea of what I'm going to do before I do it. I just use it as an opportunity to have a bit of a play, really. And I just use what I've got to hand, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to use this little image that I've half coloured. I didn't stamp it out particularly well, probably because I wasn't really concentrated. So I am going to just fill in some of those lines. So if you have the situation where maybe you're using a dry ink pad, or you've stamped it by hand and you've missed a couple of bits, you can use your Copic multiliner just to fill in those gaps that you might have missed, and that will just clean up those edges and those lines for you, so that you don't have to waste your cardstock. You don't have to waste the image that you've done, just because you've got a few little bits that weren't stamped perfectly. And because the Copic multiliner is is permanent, then it will work with your markers as well. But to be sure, because obviously it's going to take a little bit of time to dry, I'm probably not going to fill in these bits until I've coloured that bit in. So I'm going to finish colouring this little guy in, and then we can look at how we're going to put this together, because like I say, I was just making this up really. So let's zoom in a little. So Sarah says that she'd ordered the Slimline Slopes. Excellent. So excuse me while I just take a slurp of my drink there, because it's been a busy morning catching up on everything, because it's been a bank holiday, hasn't it? Has everybody enjoyed the bank holiday? That's an important thing to be. Let's discuss. What did we do over the bank holiday weekend? Ant and I obviously were busy little bees at Harrogate. So yesterday we did decide to take a bit of a day off and just have a bit of a chill, because you know, oops, wrong way around. Yeah, because we had been so busy with everything, and Ant obviously uses his days off to come and help me, so he's effectively working on his days off, bless him. So that can be tough. So yeah, so we decided let's have a bit of a chill day, a bit of a PJ day is what we had, and it was very, very much needed and appreciated. So it meant then that obviously there was quite a bit of work that needed to be done today to catch up. So let me I'm going to do the little bit of the cake bit, the muffiny bit next, and I'm just doing that in some E34. So the colours that I've used elsewhere, you're going to have to forgive me, I can't rightly remember, but I can see that I have missed a little bit of blue there, so I think I'm going to have to rectify that, and I'm going to go and add a little bit of shading with my E35, just to give a little bit of this illusion of it being inside the cupcake and underneath that big dollop of cream. And I must admit, I do love, see, I like just a plain vanilla kind of sponge, or even a chocolate kind of a sponge, but with a big dollop of actual real cream, rather than maybe a flavoured frosting. What is that controversial? What are your favourite toppings for your cupcakes? Lauren says, such a cute cupcake. I'm watching at work, so I'm sorry for not commenting too much. Oh, bless you. That's absolutely fine. I don't want to get you into trouble at work, but I love that you are watching. That's so cool. I am trying out a different time today, you may have noticed, so that some of you guys who are in different parts of the world, and I guess particularly maybe in Oz or in the States, that you are able to watch, because I know if I do it a little bit earlier, it's kind of perhaps a little bit too early for those areas of the world to join us. So I thought I would try a different time today, just see if that works better for folk. And to be fair, it worked better for me today because, like I say, I did have quite a bit to catch up on. So so I thought let's do it. Let's be sensible, and do it the right way. So that seems to be nice there. So I think what I'd like to do, I won't get you won't get into trouble, says Lauren. Just enjoying your voice while working. Oh goodness, I'm sure my voice sounds terrible. And Jane says that she had a nice little family weekend, nothing too adventurous. and Jane's also working, but got it on in the background. I love that. I love that you're listening in the background. That's really cool, and it's company for me as well. So that's awesome. So I'm just having a tiny little look in my my little stash here of Copics, and sometimes it's nice to like just pull out colours that you've not really used very much, and this RV52 is one of those. It's kind of a in the red violet I suppose collection or selection, and it's really pretty, and so I'm just having a little look to see if I've got anything that goes with it, because some of the RV collection are a bit pinker, some are a bit purplier, is that a word? Purplier. So I'm not sure how many colours go with this RV52, so I'm just going to have a little refer to my chart. So yeah, you can, I don't know if you can see here on the chart how light the RV52 is in comparison to the other colours that are anywhere near it. It does really stand out as being very, very different. But that means I can just look at different parts of the spectrum, and the RV02 and maybe the RV10 might be more appropriate, and then an R81 might also work. So this is why I love this chart, because it really does help me pick out those colours. So I'm going to go for an RV02 as my other colour. Just let's see how that looks in comparison. See, that looks very bright, doesn't it? Very bright. That's a sugared almond pink. And I've got an RV000 actually. This one might be the very one. Yes, that's the one. Right, okay. I knew we'd find it eventually. So let's have a look. Oh, Jane's giving me suggestions of an R85, 83 and 81. R85, do you know what? I'm not sure if I've got that. Oh, I have got an R83. Got an 81. What was the other one? 83, 80. I don't have the 85, I don't believe. But you've given me an idea, because I need to get that one then, don't I? Oh, I like those colours. I can see them on the chart. It does say I have got that one. So that's another good reason for having a chart, is because then it will prevent you from buying the same thing twice. Or should prevent you. I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't done that, because that would be a big fat lie. So yes, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this. So this is a very, very pale pink. So I think the colours that you were suggesting, Jane, were really quite deep pinks, and I want to go with a barely there kind of effect, because like I say, I want this to be almost just a big blob of wonderful cream. But rather than make it a vanilla cream, I've gone with it being a little bit more of a pinky cream. Jane says she become like Rain Man with her Copics. Well, yes, the thing is, if you use certain combinations a lot, you do become very, very familiar. And like I said, I think with me, I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone with my RV collections, because I don't use those as much as I do the R's, and I know what combinations work really well for you know, reds and pinks in that area, but I'm not very good in the RV area, and I probably don't use many of actually the greens, so they're just the G shades. I'll use the YG shades a lot, which are the yellow greens, and if any of you have different markers, you know, it's really interesting which colours you kind of always gravitate towards. There might be more like this kind of yellow green is my favourite. Jane says, waiting for a decent discount to come up on Cult pens. Yes, do let me know when that happens, because I'm in the market for some replacements, and then to fill in some of any of these gaps that I might have, because what I like to do, like you're probably doing, is, you know, waiting for a good discount to come and then buy everything you need in one go. And it might be then that you can just, rather than just buy 1 or 2 pens, you might then take the opportunity to just fill in any gaps in your collection, which is, I think, is probably the most economical way of doing it, isn't it? So I'm just using that RV 000 to really blend out that darker colour that I put in there, and that's going to look really good, I think, when it dries back, because you're going to see it's hardly any colour at all, this 000. So all it's really doing is helping me blend out that darker colour, but then we'll still get that little bit of depth. And I'm really tempted to go in even darker. Now it did suggest this R81 with the rose pink, but oh, that's, yeah, that is a nice, that's nice. So this rose pink, the R81, is going to be my shadow layer. I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of that into the areas I want a bit more depth to show, and I'm just going to use the very, very tip of my brush to get that effect, kind of under those little pores as well. It's a good idea. Around these areas just here, some of these folds will just, it'll just add a little bit more depth into those little folds. Yeah, I think that's enough, isn't it? They've got buy 3 and get a free refill at the moment. I don't know if I want a free refill. Maybe that could. To be fair, I've never tried the refills. Have you guys done the refill thing? Let me know if you have, and what your thoughts are on it, because I must admit I've never bought a refill for any of them. I just, because sometimes the refills do seem quite expensive to me, and I think, well, I might as well just buy another pen, because they do last a good amount of time. But I don't know, I may be wrong. I may be, you know, missing out on a huge discount there. Okay, so my blues now. Let me see here. Blue. I don't think I took any blues with me to the show, so all the blues that I may have used are here. So I think this is just pure blue that I've used. So let's go with a B04 just to make that a little bit darker in the background. I think that works. And that's pretty much all it needs, I feel. So I'm going to bring out that Copic multi-liner again, and I'm going to just reinforce some of these lines, like I say, where I didn't stamp it particularly well. And then that'll just make it look a little bit crisper. But I really wanted to make sure that I'd done my colouring first, so that there wasn't a chance of the pen running if it wasn't fully dry. And I'm doing this quite quickly so as not to bore anyone. So it may not be the straightest lines, but concentrate, you see, when you're doing straight lines, don't you? There we go. And the final little bit. I think the rest of it looks great. That's just tidied it up a little bit. That's fine. I mean, stamping for me doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because that's why we stamp. I think it just I like the imperfections of the stamping are what make it unique and let you know that it's been hand stamped. So I don't always like to remove the evidence of that, if that makes sense. So that's my little cupcake guide. Now I need to try and find my stamp set. So Jane's selling us on some Copics here. She's saying refills are $7.50 and they'll do 3 or 4 refills compared to $6.25 for a new pen. Is it $6.25 for a new pen now? Good Lord. I preferred the older refills as there were more in them and they were cheaper. Oh, there you go. That is a sign of the times, my dear Jane, isn't it? Everything, unfortunately, even here, everything is going up because to have things manufactured is the prices are going up. So it's always going to get passed on, isn't it? And there's very little at the moment because of the way the world is. I think it's going to be this way for some time. The cost of everything is going up, isn't it? But that's why I think it's good that, you know, every now and again we can do a little bit of a sale just to help everyone out a little bit. And I think it's important that we still do treat ourselves every now and again, because life is too short. As long as you're being careful and sensible, then, you know. Now then, will that go through my little die cut machine, or shall I put it through the big one? Look at the state of this. So this is my little, obviously my die cutting plate, and that I took away with me, and I stuck all of my used washi tape to it. So now it's just looking very, very abused, isn't it? So let's just free it of all of the tape and mess, and then this should fit, I believe, just fit through, but it might be a little bit tight. So I am going to resort to my bigger plate here, just to make sure we get a proper cut first time round. Put this in the Noisy Gemini. Little guy. Before I go, I might just share with you one of the purchases I made at the show, because I am a crafter just like you guys, and I couldn't wait to go and have a little look around all the stands. I didn't have much time because by the time things had quietened down enough on our stand, you know, it was pretty much packing up time. So yeah, we were struggling a little bit for time for me to go and shop, but in a way that's probably a good thing. You know, you don't want to be spending all your profits, do you? So yeah, but I did buy myself something to play with, so I will share that with you at the end. So now we can either do this way, which is kind of cute, or we could do this way, which is also very cute, depending on what sentiment I guess we want to use. Let me hang that back up there. And I did have my little folder with the dies in here. So this is my folder that I took with me, and I actually added some of my stamp sets at the front of it as well to help me out, because it's just easier for me to carry them this way when I'm moving around. And now I can see all of my my Time for Tea dies in one place. So I'm just, well, these are all my sentiment dies, not my larger dies. So my larger dies I have in a bin, not in an actual bin, but you know what I mean, a storage bin. And these are my sentiment dies, which are a bit smaller and sometimes harder to find, and sometimes you know, it's harder to remember what you've got, but I can see them all laid out here. So I do like the yum, that would be good. And also we have eat the cake, which also would be very appropriate, wouldn't it? Eat the cake. And I'm thinking that because we also have obviously the sentiments that come with it, but I want to say, oh, that would be a good one as well, wouldn't it? The sorry, I don't know if you can see that one on screen, but this is the Treat Yourself stamp and die set, and its birthday calories don't count. So that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So if we did birthday calories don't count, eat the cake, that would be really cute. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's just move this out of the way. Jane says, I love my binder for storage. I'm using it to store my stencils at the moment, but will probably do my dies as well if I ever get time. I know that's the thing, it's having the time, but I forced myself to have a tidy up and do it so that I could go to the show with feeling a little bit more prepared than I normally do. And I'm so glad that I did it, because it is so much easier this way, having them in the binders. So I can just flick through and see what I've got. So I think if we have, let's have a look at this. So we've got eat the cake. So we could have eat the cake just here maybe. And then the birthday calories don't count. That's kind of cute, isn't it? Quite like that. Okay, let's what am I going to do with, what colour shall we do this in? Just poking a few little bits out of there. Right, I think some of the pink is going to look kind of cute, isn't it? And I would quite like the background. The background in white, and then yeah, okay. So thinking out loud as you do. Got a piece of little scrap of cardstock here. Actually, that one might work. That one might work really well. I did have another piece of cardstock somewhere. What did I do with that? Let's have a look in here. I've got a little folder full of bits of card. Did I pop it in here? Yes, there it is. Piece of cardstock. So I'm going to cut my background in white, just there. And then this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. Don't know if this will work, but we'll give it a whirl. The RV 52, 0 and 81. So let's use the chisel tip here. And Laura says, this turned out so cute. I love that die cut background. The die cut background is so cool, isn't it? And I just did some stenciling with I didn't, don't tell lies. I just did some ink blending with some different colours of green. So I think I used a combination of Mowed Lawn and Twisted Citron would be my guess. And then I just added some splatters of water to that to then make it have a little bit of texture. So I'm just using those same colours of pink to see if this might make a decent colour for my me to cut out my sentiment. I'm not sure if I'm bought into it yet, but let's try it and see. And I'm trying to do a bit of an ombre kind of effect, so it gets a little bit lighter towards the top and a bit darker at the bottom. So let's see what this looks like when we cut it out, because that's the proof. Proof is in the pudding. So I am going to use my little die cutting machine for these ones because they're a bit smaller. So let's cut out the Eat the Cake first. Now my cardstock is a little bit wet because I've used excuse me, a few layers of the Copic marker on there, but I don't think that will give us any issues cutting that out. Pop that to one side, as I may need to layer this up. And you don't have to use the eat the cake dye on this. I just thought it would be the perfect sentiment for this, because you could just leave it with the sub-sentiment, or the sub-sentiment becomes the main sentiment, or this sentiment could even go inside, and I may still do that. Depends what it looks like, I guess, once we've put it all together. We'll have a see. So let's remove this from the back in. Oh, what a lovely colour that is. It's a lovely kind of candy colour of pinky purple that matches with our background. That looks really pretty. So yeah, I do like that look. Yes, and I don't think it needs building up any more than that, actually. So let me get rid of all of that. And then for the other sentiment, let's have a think about what we can do with that. I do have some bits of cardstock here. Maybe these are the right size. Ooh, not quite. Okay, let's. Do I have any more in there? No. Un momento. I know I have plenty of scraps of cardstock that we can use. Okay. So I've got a bit of a mark on it. This one might be better. Just want one that's quite sturdy. Doesn't have any marks on it, so let's try this one. And now the question with this is, do we stamp it in Commoner Garden ink, or do we try and spice it up with a bit of maybe either colour, or so we could do colour, or we could do some heat embossing, maybe in some gold or silver. Silver might be nice because I might add some silver sequins as well to the back of this, which would be quite good, wouldn't it? So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to have a look at what doing this in maybe a blue would look like. So I'm going to try some Salty Ocean, because at the end of the day it's just a bit of ink, and if we don't like it, it's a bit of ink and a bit of cardstock. If we don't like it, well, we don't have to use it, do we? It's absolutely fine. So, and it's not often that I ink in colour, and I think to myself, why do I not do that more often? You know, it looks really nice. Obviously makes for a much more colourful card, but you don't want to detract from the rest of your design. So sometimes too much colour can be too much of a good thing, I know. So we make our judgment call, don't we? So I'm going to use this same piece of cardstock, and I'm going to do one in silver to compare. So I'm just going to add some of my embossing powder. I'm going to have a little look here. What have I done with my silvery colour silver? There we go. Try some of that on for size. So I'm going to move my my sentiment down to this part of the stamping platform. Pick that up, and then we're going to use some embossing ink. So I think, so I don't think we actually really finished saying what everybody was up to, had been up to this weekend. And is anybody doing any crafting at the moment? Because I know we've got some worker bees who are working and listening, and working and watching. Have we got anybody who's crafting today? And if you're not crafting right now, have you got crafty plans for later? I would love to know. I am busy making samples later today. I think that's going to be my job, is going to be doing that. So so that should be fun, playing with some of the new products. I don't know whether that's all caught there. Hopefully that is enough. Just add a little bit more there, and then I'm going to use my brush just to tap off some excess, and hopefully it's got the majority of that. And this is Rosie's most hated tool when it's trapped as well, so that will upset her even more. Here we go. Sorry, Rosie, for all of the noise. Yep, she's not happy with that. So nice. So we've got two choices of sentiment. We don't have to use either of them, but I think that I just love doing a little bit of heat embossing, and I've not done it for a while, so I thought let's give it a go and then see what happens. Either we like it or we don't. Or the other thing that we can do is we could do the yum as well. So let me get a bit of my cardstock here, because I'm tempted, very tempted in fact, to, now do I heat emboss first and then cut it out, or cut it out and then heat emboss? I'm going to try cutting it out first. And I'm going to just try little idea that I've had to see if we can make this work. So, because that could also work as an extra sentiment. So, just different ways of using different things, isn't it? So, let's remove this because we've done with this now, haven't we? So, Annalisa says that she is definitely crafting along, and it's lovely to craft along with me. That's so lovely. And she has a crafty deadline to meet. Yes, you do. Don't we all? So many things coming up. So many exciting projects coming up. I can't wait. The other way of doing this, if you don't want to heat emboss, is to cut it out of some metallic cardstock. And actually, I don't know why I haven't done that, because that would also work. So yeah, I might do that and save myself a little bit of pain, because it is a bit of a pain, let's be honest, to do this by hand. But I'll let you know what I was intending to do was attach this to some washi tape, dip that into my embossing pad, and then kind of add a little bit of a bit of a stick to it with washi tape, so that I didn't have to hold on to it while I dried it. But in my wisdom, I've come up with a better idea. I just need to find my metallics, because I do believe that I have some very nice metallic, even holographic cardstock that would look great with this. So let's try this, because I might go with this as my option instead. So we've now got 3 options to use. Can you tell that I'm struggling to make decisions right now? That's the tiredness kicking in probably. But like I said, we did have a very, very restful. Oh, look at that. I love that. Oh my goodness. Right, okay. And I can layer that up onto there, and maybe do another one, or you could offset. So if I was to offset that and give it a little bit of, I guess, a bit of a white background, that would also look very cute. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks adorable. So yeah, so I might cut that out of another piece of white to layer this up, and you can use any of your scrap pieces for this, especially if your die is quite mini like this one is. So I can just use this little scrap here, which is great for you know, making sure that you're utilizing all of your scraps. Nothing's going to waste. So let's try this. Sarah says she got some great Miri matte card packs from Limetree on Sunday. That's what you see. I didn't get a chance to go and look at any of those things. I'm so jealous. So I am going to a craft show, although I don't know how much paper craft there is there, to be honest, at the moment. But I'm going to go to the NEC in June. I want to say June, and I think June is correct. And I would like to, I'm hoping that then I might get to go and do a bit of browsing myself, because we're not showing there. I'm just gonna go and have a little mooch around and see what's there. My friends from Burton Gertz and Claire Manning Creative are there. Sarah says the holographic with the drop shadow looks great. It does look really cool, doesn't it? So I'm thinking maybe if we did like a little yum at the top there. And you know what? I'm tempted to do the eat the cake in that same holographic. Sorry, if I just show you this. I think it looks so good, doesn't it? Shall we try it in the holographic? Where is my holographic? That's the question. That was that the last little scrap that I had? Please tell me I've got more. moment. Oh, hang on a minute. This looks like a nice sizable piece. Lovely. So let's try the Eat the Cake. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to try this on here. And I'm just going to cut a little piece out and see what that looks like. Again, I don't use my holographic cardstock nearly enough, and it does give such a great effect. And Lisa says, yes, give it a try. Let's give it a try. I think this is going to be really cute. Does it need a bit more cutting out? No, that's cut out, I think. That has fully cut out, but let's just double check. Let's move some of my bits. I know sometimes the holographic on the screen can look a bit mental. And this is very, very thick cardstock, so it's taking a little bit of poking out. It might have not quite fully cut in a couple of tiny wee areas. So I'll just give it a little bit of encouragement. There we go. Yeah, now I just need to poke out these bits. There we go. And this is a lovely, like, scripty sentiment as well, which is one of my favourites. There we go. So now, if we pop that on the front of there, that really does pop. And I think the sentiment just on the side there just looks really, really cute. Sarah says she doesn't have the Yum die, but she thinks she needs it now. She needs it now. I know. I think it's such a versatile little die. I think you can use it in your scrapbooking and your memory keeping, as well as on your cards. You know, for just for all kinds of occasions, really. So the sentiments that we were going to use, the birthday calories don't count, and in the blue and the silver, I do think are really, really cute, but I think I prefer what we've gone with. I do think that they look better. Now, what we could do is pop this sentiment on the inside of the card, which I think would be really cute. So I might do that. So let's pop these two on side. So we need to start some assembly here. Now this, that will fit nicely on the back of here. And I'm just going to add that flat to an A6 card base. So you can see that the cardstock that I used to do my stenciling on was not quite A6 card size, but it fit perfectly underneath my cover plate, and my cover plate is exactly that A6 card size, so it's going to fit beautifully onto our card base like so. And this is my favourite bit of I think, you know, making cards, and why I really love making cards with you guys is because I can just wing it, rather than sometimes when we go to when I go to TV and so on, you have to plan it so much in advance, it becomes really stressful, whereas I'd rather just make it up and just have a play, because essentially that's what we all do, isn't it? We have a play. So I'm just going to try cutting this out. We don't have dies for this one, so what I thought I would do is I'd just give it a go at cutting it out myself. Not fussy cutting it as such, but also not you know, not just cutting it as it would be with a die, or just cutting it out as a strip. thought it might be a bit more interesting if we did it in a little bit of a, with a bit of an outline to it. So let's just do that. Yeah, that's not too bad to say it's hand cut. So we'll stick this on the inside, because they really don't. And Ant and I also decided that bank holiday weekend calories don't count either. So yes, so that was our take on it. Laura says she's had to jump off, but looking forward to seeing the end result. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us, Lauren. Lovely to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Annalisa says that the Yum stamp goes with so many time for tea stamp sets. And yeah, it really does go well with a lot of different sets, doesn't it? So I'm going to pop together the Eat the Cake as well. And I'm just going to use my smaller little bottle of glue with the needle tip, because that will help me get into all of these little areas, all of these little swirls, and then pop that onto its background. And I can see that I've just put my finger in the glue and then wiped it on the front, but I can wipe that off no problem. There we go. I think I've heard the door go there. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That sounds like Ant has made a return from his adventures out in the real world while we're here playing in our little crafty world. So I'm going to add some glue to the back of these, and then we can stick these two together. Oh, dropping things. And then the same, I'm going to add some glue to the top of this one. And I'm holding it with my reverse action tweezers just because that really helps me control everything. And then we can add a lovely holographic piece onto there. Take our tweezers out of the way. And then we've got our lovely bit of dimensional sentiment, which is great. So first things first, let's get this this little guy on here, and I'm going to use some foam tape to stack him up. Let me just grab that. I'm going to use my thick tape for this, so that he's got a nice pop of dimension. Snip that one off there. And this one can go just there. I don't think that you can see that on the other side. No, that's worked. So let's get this popped into the middle. Laura says she loves the way those sentiments glimmer. I know, they're really, I'm so glad that that we came up with that idea. So I think that's pretty much where I want him, isn't it? And a little bit further down, just so he's not too perfectly central. Or do I want him a bit more central? Have I secured him down too much now? So very carefully. Oh no, I have stuck him down too much. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine, Mr. Mouse, it's fine. So I'm going to pop this over the top there, and then the Yum is going to go just there, and yeah, I think that's going to look really cute, isn't it? So I need to add a little bit of adhesive to the cake because it's going to obviously it's going to need a little bit of support there, whereas the rest of it, oh, got an extra piece there. Just stick that on there. So that'll need a little bit of support, and the rest of it's just going to sit on top of that cupcake. So let's pop that just there, and then the yum is going to go a little bit of an angle above the top of our strawberry there. And then the final touches, before I add any of my jelly roll, which will be my actual final touch, I am going to add some sequins. Like I said, I think the silver sequins will look really, really cute here. So I'm going to grab my quick sticks tool and let's have a look at where some of these little sequins might look great. And I won't need a lot of them, I'm sure of it. Just maybe I'm going to aim for 5. That's going to look good. And oh, maybe I don't need 5. Maybe that one there. That one a little bit further out. What do we think? Oh no, I'm going to say maybe just there. Yes. What do we think? Just looking on screen just to see if the placement is working for me. Sequin placement, there should be an actual kind of qualification for it. Shouldn't there? I think it is so tricky. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think that's looking quite cute. So I'm going to use some of my glossy accents that is hopefully going to cooperate. And stick some of these down. I like to have them tucked under a little bit, so under that little mouse's tail, and then under my cupcake a little bit just there. I just think that adds to the randomness of the placement of there, because we know that this has not been at all random. We've thought about it long and hard, but we want it to look like it's a nice random scatter. Sequins algorithm, yes, there is definitely some sort of a mathematical equation that should be applied that means that it's so much easier to add your sentiments, but I don't know, you just have to go with your gut, don't you? And as long as you like it, that is job done as far as I'm concerned. So, and I think I'm happy with that. So I'll give you a little closer look at all that shimmery goodness. And then the final touch is to add some of our little jelly roll highlights, because it wouldn't be time for tea without some jelly roll highlights, I don't think. So I'm just going to add some bits along here. Let's have a look. We'll just add a few little dashes around, because a lot of these are not going to show up because this is so pale, this colour. But we can add a few. We also could add a little bit of, stop it now. I'm getting carried away with myself, but why not? Let's just add a few little dots and dashes along here. There we go. So what I was thinking of doing, and this might be overkill, and I'm just having a look to see if I can see what I've done with mine. I've got a few different gorgeous stickles. So I've got silver ones, which I think might be too much. I've got my Stardust stickles, which are the ones that I do use quite a lot. And then we've also got frosted lace, which might be a bit whiter than we maybe need. So I'm going to try a little bit of the Stardust just around some of these little swirls. I'm not going to do them all because, like I said, I don't want to overdo it. But it is a celebration birthday card, so why not have a bit of sparkle? Yes, I like that. That looks really cute. So there we go. We've got a glimmery, shimmery, sparkly, yummy card. What do we think? Look at all of that sparkle and shimmer. That's amazing. Oh, I really like how that turned out. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me. Sarah says she loves how it sparkles too. And Annalisa says lovely. And Jane says that CZ Designs has a YouTube video on sequin placement. Well, we all need to go and watch that because, yeah, it's definitely an art form in itself, isn't it? Laura Rumble says gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that. Now, I know I said I would quickly show you what I purchased when I was in Harrogate. So let me quickly show you before I go. Because I know if you're anything like me, you know, you do love to see what other people have been enjoying and purchasing when they've been out and about. So, only a few little things. Like I said, I didn't have much time. But I have been hankering after a gel press. So I have bought myself one to try, and it's just the small one. I think it's a 5x7 one, this one. So I thought that would be an ideal size for me because that's the size that I need. That I, you know, backgrounds that I would use for my cards and things. I don't do 12x12 or anything, cards any larger than this. And then to use with it, I also bought a few acrylic paints. So, and I bought some colours that I just thought would be really fun together, and bright colours that I enjoy. So I got, and they're all the Diana Wakely range of acrylic paints. So there's rouge, lemon, lime and turquoise, which I just thought would be a really fun combination. And I was going to get the white in this, but they'd sold out. So I got the Paper Artsy Fresco finished chalk acrylic in Snowflake, and the lady did me a demonstration of this. It's opaque, so works really well for your splatter technique. So so I am going to try this for splattering as well, because you know I love a good splatter. So I'm going to try this for my splattering, but I'm also going to try this with my gel press as well. So yeah, I mean, you can use all kinds of different mediums with your gel press. You can use your stencils on it, you can use your die cuts on it. I mean, you could use even this this die cut to create a different kind of impression. So So yeah, so I mean, you can use your inks, you can use your distress inks, your alcohol inks, all kinds of wonderful things. And I want to use this to create some interesting backgrounds with my stencils. You can stamp into it as well and create different effects. And I want to use it also for some of my memory keeping and journaling. So loads of different ideas. If you would be interested in seeing a tutorial on how to use this once I've kind of had a play with it, I'd love to share that with you. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in a tutorial in how to use the gel press and how to use the backgrounds that you create into your card making or your memory keeping, either or. I'm happy to do and go on that journey with all of you, because it's not something I've done before, but I'd love, I'm really excited to try it, and then I'd love to share it with you. So yeah, let's figure it out together. So yeah, so there you go. So that's my purchases from the day, and that's my card that I've made today. So there you go. That's my advice to you all at the moment is yum, eat the cake, and just enjoy, and birthday calories don't count. Cool. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you all on Thursday for our next Facebook Live. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties that time, but thank you for your patience today. See you all again soon. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.